Okay, so positioning and visibility, navigating the job market. When Josh sent me this topic, I was very excited because it's something that I have worked on, right, on myself personally. But before I get right into it and why the slide is coming up, if you are here and you have applied for multiple positions, right, and you don't get a good or a favorable response, let me see, you can just put, in the chat, you can just put your hands up, use one of the emoji to just raise your hand, because I have sending CVs almost every day, applying for different roles. If I'm not alone. Okay, I can see some hands. Let me see. You can just use any emoji. Okay, if you've applied for different roles, thank you, Faith. And you don't get just put your hands up so we know ourselves. See, I have two hands up, so you guys know that I have been there. I have literally been there. Okay, it looks like we're just four. The rest of us always get, jobs. Thank you, Debbie. Yes, looks like the rest of us we're very good at getting jobs immediately we send our CVs. I'm coming for a master class. Okay, Faith. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So navigating the job market, I know that it's not something that is very easy, and that's why I want to touch on how you can position yourself and get more visibility. In today's world of work, the job market is very competitive, very, very competitive. So we must understand that if we want to get our desired role, we must position ourselves in the right way. We must be on the right platforms. We must speak to the right people, because opportunities will not come to only those who wait. I also understand that the opportunities you're looking for is not your family members that will refer you, right? You have to network, you have to meet people, and there are platforms that have been created to make it easy for you, right? Hi, George. Okay, so thank you. So there are platforms that make it very easy for you. So today we'll just touch on what are those toolkits, what are those platforms you need to get on, what do you need to do to be visible. And this will take a lot of intentionality. This will take you being consistent to show, right? Whether you're a fresh graduate, whether you're a mid-level professional, whatever level you are in your professional journey, right? There are things you need to look out for so that you can be better positioned, right? So that recruiters will reach out to you more, you will land those. And I can confidently say that, like I said, because I have done that. Okay, so let's go to the next slide, George. Thank you. So the big truths, and the quote I have here is that if you don't show up, you can't be seen, right? And if you're seen, you need to show value. And the first thing I have here is you don't have to be perfect. One thing, waiting for perfection will keep you, right, invisible. And I really want to touch on this. Most times, what I have seen in young professionals is that we are waiting for the perfect timing. Okay, you ask somebody, why are you not posting on LinkedIn? Okay, not even posting. You don't have a profile. Even a profile picture you don't have on LinkedIn. No, LinkedIn is for serious people. I don't have any announcement to make. And I understand the pressure that comes with being on LinkedIn, right? Because it feels like everybody's there is perfect. Everybody's there is sharing. I'm happy to announce I just got a new role. I'm happy to announce I just got a new job, or I'm happy to announce I just made this course, I just got this opportunity, and you have nothing to share. But you shouldn't wait for perfection. I remember speaking to a young lady that just finished her NYSC and she wanted to transition, come into the world of work. And we had a chat. And I asked her, okay, why don't you have a profile? And this is what she said to me. She said, she doesn't have money yet to take, a very good professional photo with makeup, with a good wig and suit, and go to like a Studio 25. And I'm like, what? With all of that, because it's very important that you are very authentic, right? So don't wait for perfection before you start putting yourself out there. The second thing I want to share is that your skills are worth sharing. Let me say it again so it sinks in. Your skills, what you know, is very much worth sharing. So even if you feel like oh, I'm very small. The problem we have is comparison. A lot of us compare ourselves to people that are well established, that are doing so well, right? Imagine me going to compare myself, my profile with Ibukun Awoshika. It's dead on arrival. I'm not Ibukun. She has gone through this particular stage that I'm currently in. You must understand the level you are in. You must not compete with anybody or compare yourself to anybody, right? And ensure that, right, you project or put your skills or competency out there, because trust me, somebody is looking for that skill that you have. A recruiter is looking for it. We have so many organizations, whether it's local in Nigeria or international organizations, that are looking for your skills. And a lot of recruiters are on LinkedIn. They are on LinkedIn. So your skill is what sharing. Someone is looking for it. I'm going to give a case in point scenario now. There was this job I applied for at a particular time, and I applied. I sent my CV, cover letter, fantastic. I'm happy, but I didn't get any response. But I noticed that on LinkedIn, the recruiter reached out to me to say, "Hello, Sarah. I would like to, share this role. We have an opening. Are you interested? We could have a conversation." I'm like, okay, this person is sending me a DM on LinkedIn. Meanwhile, I've already sent my CV. So I went for the interview, had conversations with them, and I was even bargaining higher pay because I had the upper edge. Because they came to look for me, right, on LinkedIn. So I had the upper edge to tell them this is what I want, this is what I'm looking, and we started negotiating, right? So when I got the job, I asked him that, okay, how did you even find my profile? I said, okay, we're just going through LinkedIn looking for people that has worked in certain industry and has certain skills. And he saw a lot of people, but my profile stood out and he had to send me a message. And that is when I revealed to that person that, do you know that I actually applied for this role previously? So he went to the email, just give me a minute. Okay, apologies for that. So at that time, he went to the email and saw my name. And he was like, Sarah, do you know, if we had seen this application, we wouldn't have given you the salary you negotiated for. But because I was already sharing my skills, sharing my work, my project on LinkedIn, he saw my profile and reached out to me. So debunk that thing in your mind that is telling you nobody is looking for your skill, because somebody is looking for it. The third thing is consistency beats perfection. See, you don't have to be perfect. Don't wait until you have the perfect thing. Like I said, I heard people say, oh, until I have a new role to announce, I'm not posting on LinkedIn. See, I've never announced a new role. What I actually post is my work, project, or knowledge that I've gained. That is what I actually announce. And that is what has positioned me to a lot of brands, right? So consistency is very important. Stay consistent. If you start on that page, go for networking events, right? Just be consistent every day and it's going to bring the desired results. So now that we've debunked those lies, we know the big truth that we don't have to be perfect. Our skills are worth sharing, right? Because you must ensure that I must also mention this: visibility and consistency and preparation is worth. Okay, and from the story I shared, there's also saying that recruiters are not just looking at CVs; they are going to LinkedIn to do headhunting. Okay, so now that we've debunked that, I'm going to go to the next one, which is next slide, please, Josh. Thank you. Why positioning matters. So why should I even position myself? Sarah, why should I go to those platforms? Why should I talk to people? Why should I post, right? Number one, because people hire who they see and who they trust. I just shared my personal story. It's when people see you, they would like to hire you. As a recruiter, I can tell you for a fact, if I receive a lot of CVs, over 100, and maybe we don't have an ATS tool to review those CVs, it gets tiring to go through those CVs one after the other, reading them, right, and finding qualified candidates. We rather have somebody that we know can do the job that we can reach out to. So when you put yourself out there in the right places, you start associating with the right people, right? people will start seeing you and knowing you for who you are or the value that you can actually bring to their organization. So you have to create a brand image for yourself. I said, start from where you are. You don't need to post pictures with you wearing suit sitting in the office, right? And making a post. Just start from where you are. And another reason why it matters is consistency really matters. It builds recognition. The more you post, the more you put yourself out there, people will recognize. People will say, okay, I know that if I'm looking for someone who is very good in videography, who will be like, oh, Josh. I want to call Josh, right? Because Josh has built consistency over time that has now made him to be recognized in this field to say, Josh is your go-to person, right? So you also need to start building that consistency so that you can become recognized in that particular field. It is very important. It is very important. So it means that you have to show up. You have to show up. Whether you feel like or not, you must show up. You must show up on LinkedIn. You must show up for volunteer roles. You must show up for career events like this. Just show up. This is also a very good way to network. You heard from Joy, Godwin, you've heard from Mr. Emmanuel and myself. You can even go to LinkedIn and send us requests, and you know that, okay, I know these people. And introduce yourself, right? You're going to see that shortly. But that is how you actually network from events. The last is your skills, your visibility will bring about opportunities. I must say this, you must have something to offer. You must have something to offer. I've seen people brand themselves, over-brand themselves, and they come to interviews and they flop. I understand the place of sometimes the person is under pressure, but I mean, somebody that what you shared, you can't even do half of it. So it means you must build yourself consistency, own your skills. So because when you are able to build your skills, that is what will now give birth to visibility. People will now know, okay, I know somebody like Josh, if I want advice or if I want to do a program and I need somebody that has in-depth experience when it comes to program management, I'm going to go to Joy Godwin because I know that this is our area. If I am looking for an HSC specialist, right, to come on board a project, I go to Emmanuel. Because why? They have the skills, they build visibility, opportunity comes, they definitely get it. So this is why positioning matters. This is why positioning matters because employers and recruiters must trust you, right? And it's only when you show your skills and you're visible that you get those opportunities. So the next slide. Building your brand at any stage. Someone will say, oh, Sarah, it's because you are experienced, that's why you can talk about building your brand. Even if you're an undergraduate, if you are a graduate or a mid-level professional, you can start from where you are. You always have something to share. That is it. If you don't leave this conversation with anything, just remember that Sarah said, I have something to share. It is now in your place to find that thing and build competency in that area. Joy has already given us an assignment to do, right? So find that thing and build competency in it. Build yourself, get to do it, know better. There are so many free resources. YouTube, there is LinkedIn, there are so many platforms that you can get free learning from. So you have something to share. The problem is that we think we are too small. I've seen undergrads on LinkedIn at social events, on career platforms or programs. They speak so well, they are able to talk about themselves, their personal brand, and they get opportunities. Do you know the funny thing? The people that get the opportunities don't know more than you do. Okay. They don't know. The reason why they have more opportunities is because they are able to put themselves out there. Right? And putting yourself out there doesn't mean you have to be loud. No, it just means that you are sharing your experience, your skills, your competency, positioning yourself in the job market that recruiters will want to reach out to you, right? But a particular role. So start from where you are. Nobody, don't see yourself that you're too small. So it's very important that you know your why. You know the impact you want to have in that industry. So you can't just start and start posting anything. You have to be very careful. Understand your position. How do you want to present your brand? For me, I want to be positioned as a thought leader in the nonprofit HR sector. What does that mean? I am constantly following people in this sector, the nonprofit sector on LinkedIn. I go for events, I network, I speak to people, because this sector is where I want to build myself. So you must be very intentional in knowing your why and the impact you want to have. Right? You can't be everything. You can't be everything. Yes, so define your core strengths, define your skills, define your values, right? Tell a consistent story from your CV, whether you're a mid-level person or a graduate. Let people know you build your brand, share your journey, right? So it's very important. And I know that some of us might say, "Oh, who would I share on LinkedIn? What would I share with people?" I believe that all of us, whether big or small, we've worked on a project here. You've solved a problem. You've learned a skill this year. You attending this event, that is content. That is content that you can share. The learning you learned from this, from Miss Joy, from Emmanuel, from Josh, that is content that you can start putting into your brand. People will know, right, that this person is very invested in their learning and development. So start from where you are. Sometime I'm going to try and rush through so I can wrap up. So the next slide, which is visibility tools. So what are the visibility toolkits that you need, right? One is LinkedIn profile and posts. Don't just, I said a quote that don't just work hard, work where people can see. You know, you can be doing good work for a very long time, right? And nobody gets to see it because you're not putting yourself out there. Okay, so don't hold yourself back. Go to that LinkedIn, look at it, revamp it. Okay, and you have so many resources that can help you revamping your LinkedIn. You don't even need to go and pay somebody. You have AI tools that you can use. Okay, so whether you are an undergrad, you can post about your final year project. You can post if you're at NYSC, if you're currently doing your NYC program, post about a community project. If you're mid-level, write about lessons from your first year, write about lessons from leading a team or a project you worked on. Number two, tailor your CV and cover letter. You see this one, I have to hammer it. Please, don't have one CV for every role. Don't have one CV for every role. I see people, your CV is tailored to a business development officer. You're applying for front desk or you're applying for admin. There's a mismatch. There is no way that recruiter is going to call you. Because what they are looking for, your CV does not have it. I know it can be very daunting, tiring. I've been there. I can tell you on this call that I have up to 20 CVs. Don't ask me how. But the truth is, for every role I see, I'm able to tailor my CV to speak to what that role is asking for. So tailor your CV. Okay? And please, if you are here and you see an open role, you're supposed to apply. You just send people that forward CV. Please don't try it. At least have a body. Put a body to that email. It's a cover letter. And if they say they require a cover letter for that role, include your cover letter. But don't just forward CVs with no subject of email. So you must tailor your CV. Don't do a one-size-fits-all CV, right? Next is volunteering and internship. The first place I volunteered at was church. Sometimes we are looking for the big organizations like NNPC, to take us in as interns, or as volunteers. I'm not here to discourage us that it cannot happen. It can happen by God's grace, but start from where you are. Okay, I started by volunteering in church. It wasn't paid, but I was doing administrative tasks there. I was managing the account. And from there, I started building skills. So you must find those opportunities. You must find those opportunity to, learn on the job. So look for volunteering opportunities, internships. I know that sometimes it can feel like, oh, but this thing, I don't have money, or where will I find? Start from where you are. Some of you, your mosque, your church, or maybe a family friend that has a business, can volunteer because you want to build skills in a particular area. So you can even volunteer for, I know that this event had opportunities for people to volunteer. You can volunteer and build skills in project management, in organizing events, right? And have it on your CV. So always look for opportunities. You don't have to look for the perfect opportunity, right? So volunteer and have internships. So I'm going to go to Josh, you can skip the quick wins and let's go to the slide 7. Yes. So I have a dashboard. Yeah. The first is, thank you. So the first one you see is a conversation. We're talking about cold emails. Cold emails or texts are, messages that you send to people when you're looking for a position, like when you're looking for a role. Right? So you send them like a cold email, just introducing yourself, talking about your skills, the value that you can offer their organization, and you send your CV. My people, cold email work or cold text. So you see, this conversation was done in 2023 with myself and someone. So someone reached out to me on LinkedIn and said, oh, she's interested in HR and she wants to build her skills. She's looking for any opening, right? She's looking to intern. At that time, if you can zoom in, I told her that we don't have any opportunity. There was no opening. I don't know the lady. She just sent it randomly. And I replied almost immediately. But what stemmed from that? When I needed somebody for that role, I remember this lady and I went to LinkedIn and I sent her a message. You can see I said, are you still open for the HR internship opportunity? And she said, yes. So don't hold back. I agree. Some people might not reply you. I have sent cold messages or emails to people and they don't reply, but it works. It actually works. So you need to find the right people and follow them and engage. It's easier to engage a recruiter on LinkedIn than sending them an email. They might not even respond. But on LinkedIn, they're seeing your profile. You send them, when they read it. They will likely respond to you. So this lady, like we say in Nigeria, she shoot her shots. And what happened? When an opportunity came, I remembered and I called her. And she got the role. And she's doing fantastic. She's doing very well. Also, I have a profile template, whether you're a recent graduate. I see some people on the about side, they don't have anything. This is where you sell yourself. This is where you sell yourself to any recruiter that when they come to your page, you're like, okay, Tolu Akinyemi, okay, she has skills in data collection, environmental impact, report writing. I would that hire her if I'm looking for somebody with these skills. I will hire her. I will reach out to her, right? She also spoke about volunteering work that she has done, for the particular initiative, what they did, her role she played, her strengths and competency she built on that job. Your profile info, right, should be able to sell. You should be able to sell yourself, present your value. I don't need to look at your CV. From your profile, I know that you can do the job. And on the other side, I have a CV template, right? Chidera dossier. So your CV should not have jargons. I can say it boldly. If you have 2 to 3 years experience, please, your CV should not be more than. Really, it shouldn't be more than. Because sometimes we have a lot of jargons in our CV. My CV is 2 pages. I'm able to compress everything, 2 pages, so that the recruiter can easily review. So, have a summary. I liked your skills. And these skills part, you look at the JD, you tailor it and identify those skills that they need, and you put it there. The ones you don't have, start learning for it. Okay? And put it there. So ensure that that profile is able to sell yourself. So put your skills, your competency there that the job is looking for, your education. And then when you are sharing your experience, I've also seen this, don't write your responsibilities. Let me say this again. Please don't write your responsibilities. State your achievements. Let it be quantifiable. State it. Let them see that. So don't, achievements. That is what you should put here. Conducted, you see, analyzed. So that way the recruiter know that you've done the work. Okay? Put your certification, volunteering positions. When I started out, and like I said, I worked in a church first, I used to put that I volunteered for church and the skills, the competency, the experience that I have that got me full-time roles, right, in corporate organizations. So never, leave out these things. It's actually very, very, very important. Okay, so Josh, can we go to the slide before this? Yeah, right. Thank you. That's a quick wins. All right. So quick wins that I want us to implement right now. If you know that your LinkedIn, you have been ghosting it. Okay, you have been ghosting your LinkedIn. I want you to go there and do something. Okay, we need to take action. I've shared my story. I've shared the story of the lady that reached out to me on LinkedIn and how she got a role. Go there. You don't need a perfect picture. You don't need to wear makeup. Get a phone and take a picture, a nice picture, and put it there. Okay? Ensure that your headline, like we've shared, let it be very rich with the right content. Okay? Post consistently. You don't have to start posting every day. And even if people do not engage, because I know that sometimes the discouragement is that people don't engage, still post. If you look at people who have the best profiles, right, those influencers, look at where they started from. Most of them go to their first post. You will see one like, few engagements. The engagement is not much, right? So please post, okay? Cold emails, they are your hidden weapon. I can tell you that the jobs I've gotten in the nonprofit sector came from cold emails. Yes. There was one that I reached out to the recruiter. I said I applied, and he said, okay, send your CV here again. And I sent, and I had an interview and I got the role. So reach out to people, but don't reach out and send good morning and you ghost. Go straight to the point, what you want. Present your CV very well, package it well, and share it, right? Networking and career events. There was a time at the beginning of my career where every year I will map out different career events, free events, and I'll start attending them. And I'll meet people, exchange contact, reach out to them, be part of communities that you can get opportunities from, okay? Which is very important. Last slide, please, Joshua. All right, so, I want us to position our brand. I want us to stop being afraid of platforms like LinkedIn, being afraid of going to networking events, okay? I want us to do an activity, right? And be right, work on a LinkedIn headline, okay? Work on it in a way that you want your dream, right, employer, if it's NMDC you want, if it's UN, that if somebody working at UN see your, they will want to hire you. That is what I want you to do. That somebody sees that profile, right, they want to hire you. So let's work on that. And I'm charging us that we should start showing up. Be your authentic self. You don't have to be like somebody else because you are your unique self and you have your unique attributes, skills, and giftings that someone out there is definitely looking for. Thank you very much.